So this is about dogs who have anxiety, okay? And many of them do because of people are busy, their lifestyles are really busy, and so the dogs, they just not all of them are good at being alone all day. You know that, right? Some of they need to get out, they need to physically move, they need to use their mind, and they need attention. So, Kayla, do you want to talk a little bit about your about Cora to introduce why this topic was interesting for you?
Well, there's a lot of reasons why this topic is interesting for me, not just Cora, but
Okay,
Cora is a Rhodesian Ridgeback. She's a big dog. She's super friendly. I made a connection with her when she was a puppy because
right,
she's my kid's dog, and
right.
and a whole community of people told me, "Oh no, you can't connect with a Rhodesian Ridgeback. They're very family oriented and they don't let outsiders in." And I'm like,
Okay,
I am family. Come on. So
right.
I did some communication with her from remotely, like I would sit down and meditate on Cora and just feel into her and feel like we're safe together, we're having a good time together. And so then when I came this I have to back up a little bit. The first time I met her, I
Mm-hmm.
never insist myself on a dog ever or any animal, right? You don't just
Mm-hmm.
naturally reach out and touch them like us silly humans do. We're always reaching out and touching animals, and there's got to be manners in play, right? There's manners. There's ways of greeting another animal. So I just sat down on the floor. I let her run back and forth and be scared of me and all the things. And I just sat there. I didn't insist anything on her. And
Mm-hmm.
and so then by the next day, she sat on the couch and she put her hand on my thigh. And I thought that was progress, right? And
Beautiful.
and
Yeah.
this was without me insisting at all. So
Mm-hmm.
then I was asked to care for her while her humans were away. And so that's when I did the meditations with Cora, from my
Uh-huh.
bed from my bedroom to her house. I'm just like sending her love and kindness, and we're going to have a good time. And
Mm-hmm.
so the next time I came, she and I were best friends, right? She was like, "Oh, yeah, I know you. You're that safe person that has appeared to me in my dreams," or whatever she thought. And so
Right.
and so then excuse me. So then that became a thing between us. But she's a jumper, and as she grew, she jumped and she would rake her nails across my forearms.
Mm.
And I tried something different the last time I saw her. She starts to jump on me.
Mm.
I gently took her collar. I lowered my body. I lowered my voice. I lowered my energy. And I whispered, "No, we're not going to do this right now." And she looked at me like she was confused, right? Like, what are we doing here? And then I stood up and she tried to jump, and I gently took her collar and I lowered myself, lowered my energy, and I whispered, "No, Cora, we're not doing that right now." And I could tell she was processing and she got it. Oh, we're not going to jump right now. So that's been one of my cool experiences with a dog with anxiety
Anxiety.
and hyperactivity and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So back to you, June.
That's beautiful, Kayla, how you kind of instinctively went there about and first you're modeling, you're embodying the energy that you want her to have.
Right.
And she is already, as you say, because you're like part of the family. And so she's she's already has your attention and your heart, you have a
Right.
heart connection.
That heart
Um,
coherent.
and you've got that, which is what one of your big topics, which is so important. And so that there was a lovely experience. So, and can you remind me again how old she is?
She must be a year and a half now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I could, I,
she's still a young teenager, right?
1.5 years. Okay. So yeah, absolutely. As you know, I mean, I'll just repeat this for other people listening, is that we met through actually an equine course.
Yes, we
And
did.
so dogs are actually new to me, but for whatever reason, I'm getting a lot of dog cases. So that has made me need to learn it, learn some. Now they're both four-legged and they both got parts in sort of similar areas, but it's made me research. I don't have a dog of my own, but for some reason I'm getting all these jobs with dogs. So it's really helped, and it's absolutely helped. So one thing to know about this breed is that she could be when she's fully, which she might be, she could be up to 80 pounds, and she's muscular. So that's what it is. She's muscular, and could be up to 80 pounds. They also have what is called a high prey drive. And that's a good thing to know because um, even your little experiences that you described to us, you were helping her use her brain. Okay. And you can do it with discussion. When you've got a bond with them, when you've got the heart coherence, I believe they listen to your words. I do. Okay. But when you know they've got a high prey drive, then that is when you can look into using positive reinforcement with food. Okay. Not everybody likes that. That is a personal choice. It's just to know. You can know it when they've got a prey drive. And they're same with horses and what they call scent work or nose work. Uh, Sometimes to get the horse out of a block of when they're stuck in a what they call sympathetic or in their emotions or in their tension, sometime having them search for food releases that because it's their natural instinct, natural emotion. So they call it this um, a neuroscientist called Jaak Panksepp. And any of this stuff that I talk about, I'm happy to send you resources for it. So Jaak Panksepp, he um, has he wrote a book and he's got a lot of information about the emotional lives of animals. And one of the first one is called seeking system. Their mind, she's meant to go look for her food, find it, and get the food herself. And that's connected with her high exercise needs. So she's one of those breeds that needs to run and get out and run. Okay. That would be a challenge for somebody like me at my age. And I would struggle I would struggle with a dog that needs to run. Um, and then, of course, her age. She's probably being totally, whatever for her age. And so can I just ask, do they live in a house with a yard?
Yes, they have a yard, and
Uh-huh.
they have two little dogs.
Oh, uh-huh.
They have one dog who's about this big, and
Yeah.
then the Frenchel is like French bulldog size.
Right, right. Okay.
Right.
But how are the little ones? Are the little one need now the little ones um I'm just learning about that because I just worked with a Shih Tzu, 13 pounds, and they were sort of designed to be lap dogs because they don't have high exercise needs.
Right.
They have every dog needs mental stimulation, but
Right.
they don't have high, and they don't have, does he have a prey drive? Because I got to meet him in person and work with him. I would say yes, he has a prey drive. That's why treats work with him. and you can teach him tricks and things like that. He's a therapy dog. A counselor therapist takes him to the office to work with clients. He's amazing. Okay, so let's get back to the large dogs. So, unfortunately, my case that I have with the photos, that dog is in a different category. He's a 14-year-old lab, so he's on the other side of the age group. But he had developed some habits because the owners they have college age and teenage son who's in therapy, and you can imagine there's a lot of uh, internal emotional stuff going on. So the dog would he would get in this habit of um, come in front of you and do this excess barking. And so I asked her, "What do you think this means?" And she goes, "Well, if he has water and he's had his food and and all this stuff, and he keeps barking, we just give him half a treat." So
Guess what?
yeah, yeah. So I thought, okay, that settles that. All right. And so I got to have a few days with him. And in the photo, what you see is so I used and he's not at that jumping age or anything like that. And when you sit down and eat your food, he comes and he doesn't bark, but he'll stare at you. And if he doesn't get anything, he goes in the room and eats the cat food. So, okay, so you're probably asking yourself, why don't they set it up where he can't get the cat food? But that's how they've got it set up. So he will literally, I watched him do it. I'm eating my breakfast. He gets nothing, so he goes in and eats the cat food. Okay, so then what I started doing is I started doing the something like the embodiment, but I didn't speak. All I did was when he would bark, I would just try and be as calm as I could, and I actually gave him no eye contact. So then he would come over and try and get me to give him eye contact. So I just avoided his eye contact and then let him and then he said, "Oh," and then I guess he got bored with it because he laid down. And then I gave him a reward.
Ah,
Okay? So that's what that first picture is. That first picture is
here,
the first picture
let's pull that
is
up
sitting.
again.
Yeah. The first picture, now all the animals have what they call the seeking system. Okay? And just because we give them their food in a bowl doesn't mean they're satisfied. So that's what it, so I'm sitting like on I'm eating, and instead of going in and eating the cat food, he did this. So I rewarded him.
He did this one on the
Yeah, he sat down like a sphinx.
right.
Okay. But he did this instead of going eating the cat food. So I rewarded him 3 times. Okay. Then I continued to eat my food, and then he laid down flat, like in the other picture.
Right. So
And then, so in the other picture, you see him laying down. He's laying down flat while I'm eating. Okay. So then, because I was able to be with him for a few days, we repeated this. And by the end, I could even forget to reward him, and he would still do it.
right. You broke the
So
pattern. You broke the pattern, June.
yeah, the pattern got broken. He
Interrupted.
did this. It did get interrupted. And then, and what the neuroscientist people are telling us is that all animals want to be like this. They want peace and calm, and they want to feel loved by, who's ever taking care of him. I'm nowhere close to being part of his family, but he knew, he recognized that I was the caretaker because I knew the rhythm of his feeding and everything. So it was a fascinating experience for me. And
Right,
I wanted to share that.
right. So
So,
can I interrupt you a
yeah,
minute, June? And
yeah, do it, do
let's
it.
let's talk about the eye contact. It seems like
Yes,
pr predators know if they
yeah,
have your eyes, they've got you.
yeah,
This is just my guess, but doesn't
yeah,
that seem likely? And so
yes,
when you stopped looking at him, he couldn't reach you that way. He couldn't use his
yeah,
his magic mind doggy powers on you.
right. Yes, it's about engagement.
Right,
So, a good point. Good point. He, so the principle of not engaging in that activity, and of course, if you're, a small woman and the dog is 85 pounds and they're jumping on you, you might have to do something different. I'm just giving you an example of how it worked on him.
right,
But the thing about the no eye contact is, so there's a beautiful book called Calming Signals in Dogs, and it's wonderful. And she explains what are the signals, the calming signals to a dog. Okay, and it's a tiny book. I'm still talking. It's a tiny book. Um, I really, really recommend it. And it led to, so here's the book. Can you see it or not?
no, it's you have to
It's all
maybe
blocked out. Okay,
maybe put it in front of your face.
right.
Nope. It's
Oh, it's this thing I've got. It's this
yeah, yeah, yeah.
scalar thing. Oh, sorry. So anyway, it's on talking terms with dogs, calming signals.
I'm gonna put that in the chat
Okay,
on
on
talking.
talking terms with dogs, calming signals. I can see it a little bit on my screen. Can you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. On talking terms with dogs, calming signals.
Yep, got it.
And this led,
And
this led,
who's the author?
her name is Turid Rugas. Can you see the name?
Yes.
But
It's
you can see the name Turid,
yeah,
Turigrug. So
got it.
this is the book that led to calming signals in horses study. And I got this book, and because as I said, I was starting to get more and more dogs sent to me to work on with body work or other things. And and I also I wanted to know. And so the dog, they're almost like a human baby. Eye contact is showing attention and love when you give them eye contact. Um, there are different theories about that. They say that a puppy, when you give the puppy eye contact, the puppy should look away. They should look away. And then I've been learning about things that when you give them contact and they blink, that's like sending you a kiss. It's beautiful. Um, so so when they're barking or they're having anxiety, and you do this, you're just fueling it.
Right,
I mean, that's the principle. Okay, I'm simplifying, but that's the principle. You're fueling it. So if and they say that, okay, just take this with a grain of salt, that if you're in a pack of wolves, the leader always is like doesn't look at them. The leader just is always looking over there. And they all relax. It relaxes them and they all lay down. I say take it with a grain of salt because the theories and tests were done with a captive group. They captured a group of wolves, they put them in an area and they studied them. So, you know, some people are saying, well, you can't take that as a real study. Okay, so we go back to the big guy. His name was Tango, the black lab, and he just and so all I had to do when I wanted calm was to just not. All I did was not give him eye contact, and he started doing it. So that was in the house when I was eating. Then I would, if I would go and sit down and read a book or listen to something, he might come and ask, want to engage. And he might do that, but it would work there. I noticed he stopped eating the cat food, but every night before bed, he'd go in and finish it up. I mean, he's not stupid, right? But if the if the humans were really bothered by it, they set up a different system. Because many people do that. They set up the cat food higher up. It's just logical. So, but I'm not, this is not the right time to even talk to him about any of this. And okay. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, like
All
state
right.
the obvious.
Okay. So I have another example of a dog that I do see regularly because I work on the horses of the family, and the dog grew up there. So it's kind of a situation like yours. He's seen me since he was 3 months old. I would sit with them when they go on the family holidays and stuff. And so he kind of associates me with being there off and on, or whatever you want to call it. Um, Busy family, working mother who's night school getting her master's, uh, two boys in little league soccer and all of that. So he gets very little attention. Let's put it that way. Um, so what they do is when he jumps up, they think they just go, oh, he's giving me a hug. Okay, he's 60 pounds. I do not want him jumping on me. So I did use some like simple body language. I would watch him. I would use simple body language. Sometimes when he'd jump up, I actually just hold his paws and say, "Let's go dancing," you know. But here's the thing, Kayla. He only does it when they are there. When the,
Oh,
when they
really?
are there. Okay. So what he figured out, and he figured this out, I didn't figure it out because I thought he was blocking me. So I'd be walking in a room and there was a bench. He'd put his feet up on the bench. Instead of jumping on me, he put his feet on the bench. I thought he was blocking me and being dominant, and I didn't know what it was. And so then I realized he wanted a hug. So when he does that, when he puts his feet up on something and not on me, I go hug him. And he likes that.
Really?
So it just, he lives on a farm. He gets something like adequate exercise. He's 5 now. So he's also not in the same category as Cora.
Uh-huh.
He's just not. Okay. But your intuition and with your a few things going on, but this helping him doing the treat searches or things like that absolutely works their brain, their seeking system. It makes them tired because they're thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
So can we back up a little bit? So when
Yes.
you said
Uh-huh.
this dog's signal is to put
Yeah.
his feet on the bench and then you give him a
Right.
hug and he's happy, right?
Yeah. Right.
As humans, we tend to
Yeah.
anthropomorphize animals, right?
Right.
And
Right.
project our stories into them,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
This is what I think the dog wants based on what I know, right? That's what we tend to do as humans. And it sounds like with this particular dog,
Yeah.
you got the intuitive hit that he's asking for something and
Yeah.
you experimented, you tried a hug, and that seemed
Yeah.
to work. But this is nothing that we could apply to all dogs. All dogs that stand this
No.
way, let's hug
No.
them, right?
You gotta look at it could be a different type of dog could be blocking you.
Right,
They're trying to control where you can move, a
right,
different situation. And that's why any of this, you got to look at the individual and the situation.
right.
And yeah, and and that's a very good point. I love that. Because we do that. People, we can't help it, we do. But because of their lifestyle, he's low on the hug department. He's low on, they're gone all the time. And he's the dog. And yesterday I was actually at the younger son's in the Catholic his first communion, and it was really lovely. I'm not Catholic or anything, but it was a lovely service. And the man of the family said, "I wish we could clone him because when he's 5 now, and when he goes, I want him. I want another one just like." They love him so much,
Right.
but they're just not there
Yeah, they don't
because
have
of
the
work,
they don't have the
kids. Yeah,
bandwidth, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's because of their lifestyle, and
right.
he is half um, Australian Shepherd and half Border Collie.
Oh my
So he's
gosh.
he's a herding type,
Yeah,
and
and
he
he
wants to
needs
be
a
with you.
job, right? He needs
And
attention,
he
he
and
needs a
he and he
job.
needs he
Yeah,
wants to be with the shepherd all the time.
right,
So the other thing, when he doesn't, now this is interesting because I did notice he doesn't do this anymore, but he used to, like I would let him go. We did it as a game. I would let him like get way ahead of me. I would stop my feet and I would call him, and he would come barreling toward me. So I would hold up my arms like I was holding a cape, like a toreador cape. He would focus on that, and then I went like this, and then he just went right around me and stopped. And then I gave him a treat. Because so it became a game.
right.
But it was a good game because he never ended up on me. That's the way I looked at it. Because the family, when I go home after my, little session with him, the family likes it when he jumps on them. They hug him. So,
To each his own, right?
but yeah, but it's about how can I stay safe?
Right.
How can I stay safe without getting aggressive? Because he's not doing it in aggression. And I'm sure Cora's not either. It's just about some of it is education, or teaching them something else, breaking the pattern. Like those are good words. Okay. Then when we have internal anxiety, and we think we're cool, we think we're calm, but it's in our mind. Um, they mirror us. That's what Kayla was explaining, that she felt the feelings, and the dog understood it when she didn't stop jumping, when she stopped jumping. So
Yeah.
I have another. So Kayla, did you want to add anything else? Because I have another example of when I needed a dog not to jump on me.
Well, I wondered if you had a simple practice that Ingeborg and I could do.
Yes. Um,
So do you
that's
want
a
to,
very that's a very good point.
right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so maybe you could give your next example and then take us into a little practice to
Oh,
complete.
you're a good director. Thank you. So, but I did want to share this story because I think it was kind of amazing myself. Okay. So this was several years ago, like I don't know, like in the early, yeah, like 2000, maybe six or something like that. 2006, seven, something like that. And I broke my leg, and I was on crutches. And I went to visit my friend, um, um, which I don't know, maybe I was bored or something, but I wanted to go visit my friend. And she lived on a small holding in Wyoming with horses and stuff. And she had a rescue dog, a beautiful, sort of a mixed rescue, sort of a collie type, high energy. And she thought it was cute when she would do this and he would jump up on her. Okay. So here I come on crutches. So
Right.
and this was before I did any of this. So it's one of those examples. I don't know if you've heard about it, but about that time is not linear. And we're actually doing future past, and it kind of goes like that. Because I hadn't done any of this, and I thought, what can I do? So what I did, so I'm on my crutches. The dog sees me, and starts, coming, barreling over, and I hold up a newspaper. I just hold it like this, and he stopped. Then and then I rewarded him. I was a good boy and petted him and stuff like that. So for the first few days, I just I just walked around with my newspaper, and if he got excited, I just put it like that in front of me, like a stop sign. So then we were in the house, and I experimented with, and this is just something, but I experimented with, would it work with a business card? And it did. So then would it work if I just used my hand like a stop sign? And it did. And then he was, and that because so now I realize he was communicating with me way more than I was communicating with him. I was just sort of like, I just realized that he responded to the newspaper, the business card, and my hand. And then he never jumped on me.
Wow.
So I wanted to
Great
share,
story.
I wanted to share that.
Yeah, great story.
Okay. So I love, so moving on to an example of how you can bring this how you are going to embody what you want, number one. And the number one step is, um, your whole, reason for your, group is heart coherence.
Hmm.
Okay. So if there is a way, like if you're in a situation where the dog is already jumping, okay, um, I would try it where there's some kind of a barrier. Um, if there's some kind of a barrier, okay, and and then you are going to embody this heart coherence, sending love and gratitude to the animal. And we can go ahead and do this as a mini meditation. Okay.
Okay.
So, and you're going to set it up. You're going to set it up how it's appropriate with the animal you're working with. Okay. So if it's Cora or another, you're going to have to um, uh, decide how much space you need to get it going. And you will. Okay. It'll come to you. And then you can decide if you need to use food reward. And this is all based on the individual cases. But here's what the meditation looks like. So if you can be in an area um, where the dog cannot come and push you with their nose, or sorry, let me back up. If you're in a situation where the dog is not jumping on you, but they come and they start pushing you with their nose, tapping you with their paw, uh, trying to get your eye contact, this is where you're going to close your eyes. Soften all the muscles around your eyes. You're going to rest your tongue on the roof of the mouth. and just get in tune with your own breathing. If it feels good, you place one hand over your heart and one hand over the navel. You just feel your own hands rise as you inhale and fall as you exhale in your own rhythm. You feel this going slower and slower, softer and softer. Underneath the hand over your heart, you're going to place the animal, a mini version of the animal as you send him love and appreciation, gratitude for being with you. This is where you will see them sit or lie down and often roll over on their back. So, this simple meditation connects your hearts, your feelings, your emotions, and your thoughts. It can heal physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual wounds. To deepen the connection, you can go to the bottoms of your feet, feel the earth energy coming in, moving up the legs, through the back of the neck, and the top of the head. Here you visualize bringing in brilliant sunlight down through the front of the body, clearing any old patterns, tensions, blocks, traumas. As it moves down the front of the body and out again through the feet. We've created a beautiful circle of breath going up the back and taking a light shower down the front. So, this would be the first step of starting to influence a behavior, whatever it is when you can get this, sometimes called a twin hearts meditation, heart coherence. Then there is an openness between the two beings, and all things are possible. Whatever inspiration comes to you for the animal that you're with is the right one. There is no recipe. It's a private conversation between you and the animal. All beings want peace, want to feel loved, and engagement. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you.
Ooh, thank you, June.
Thank you, Kayla. You're wonderful for wanting to talk about these things. And you know the Tango, the black lab. The first time I did that, he barked at me. He barked because he's like, where did she go?" And I'm just like, "I'm here. I'm just peaceful."
Huh.
And then he laid down.
That's really beautiful. Yeah. So,
And just yeah, thank you. Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna stop the recording and ask Ingeborg if she has anything she wants to ask or share with us, if that's all right.
Yep.
So let's go.